Hey YouTube 97 Travel, and we are back, and this time we're giving you our honest review of our time on Disney's newest cruise ship, the Disney Wish. We sailed during the inaugural sailings in August of 2022, so it had only been at sea for a little over a month. Let's not waste any time, and we're jumping right in to the pool deck. The Disney Wish features a different layout than the other 4 Disney Cruise Line ships, as rather than having 2 main pools at the center deck, it features a bunch of smaller pools across 3 different levels of the center deck, consisting of 2 on the main deck, 2 smaller pools 1 level up, and 2 smaller pools another level up, for a total of 6 pools on the center deck. Now, we really had no issues with the pool deck and its new layout. The only thing that seemed to be a problem was the bottlenecking that would happen at the water slide, which brings us to the Aqua Mouse. Neighboring the pools on the uppermost deck is the Aqua Mouse, which is what Disney is calling its first attraction at sea. The Aqua Mouse features 2 different cutscenes you can get during the build-up of the ride. One being the Scuba Scramble, and one being the Swiss Meltdown. The best tip I can give to riding the Aqua Mouse is riding it as soon as you board your ship. Those lines can get really long, hence the bottlenecking issue on the pool deck. It can get upwards of an hour, so getting on early is key. The lines can even be long on the days that you're ported in the Bahamas or at Castaway Cay. My thoughts on the Aqua Mouse was that it was a cool concept, and I get what they were doing with the screens, but I honestly would prefer the Aqua Duck, which can be found on other ships, because on the Aqua Duck, you're in the clear tube of the water slide the entirety of the pool deck, whereas on the Aqua Mouse, half the slide is for the buildup of the screens, and you're in the dark, and you can't really see the pool deck. And by the time you're out of the dark, you're doing half the pool deck, and Mickey and Minnie are waving to you, and the ride is over. Perfect timing. The other slide on the deck is the Slidosaurus Rex, which is a no-tube, less thrilling kids slide neighboring the more smaller, child-friendly Toy Story Splash Zone, which also features an ankle-high pool. The height requirement is also a lot smaller on the Slidosaurus Rex, as you have to remember the Aqua Mouse, because it is a thrill ride, does have a height requirement, and I want to say it's about 48 inches. Behind the Toy Story Splash Zone is the adults-only area, which features infinity pools overlooking the back of the ship, along with the Cove Cafe, which features cocktails and fresh-to-order espresso drinks. Don't forget to get your coffee stamps with the Disney Wish logo. We did not spend much time back here in the adult area, as we were always on the main pool deck with our kids. I've heard it's really nice. I have heard complaints that it's so close to a kid zone that people are mad that they can hear screaming children and things like that, but it's a Disney cruise. What are you going to do? What do you expect? After all that time in the pool and on the water slides, you are sure to work up an appetite, so look no further than what I feel is not only a standout of the pool deck, but of the entire Disney Wish, and that is the Festival of Food. First, we have the Lookout, which is going to be the main bar at the center of Deck 11. There are also cocktail servers walking around that will bring you drinks to your lounge chair. They also will be attempting to sell you on a cooler bag, which actually can yield you some good deals for a cruise ship. Quick reminder that Disney Cruise Line does not feature a drink package, so all drinks are a la carte. They do, however, allow every adult over the age of 21 to bring 6 alcoholic drinks of their choosing on board with them, or 2 bottles of wine. You can also bring this bag with you down to Castaway Cay for on the beach. They will also be selling them there as well, and for future cruises. The bag is nice and sturdy and can hold about 8 to 10 cans, and they do remain ice cold for hours. Anyway, let's get back to the food. First, we have Goofy's Grill, which is going to be very similar to Flo's V8 Cafe on the Disney Dream, serving a variety of burgers, vegan burgers, chicken tenders, and chicken sandwiches. Next up is my personal favorite, Mickey's Smokestack Barbecue. This is going to have a very similar food to what you would find on Castaway Cay Barbecue Mainstay Cookies Barbecue, but this is available on the ship. Mickey's Smokestack Barbecue is fantastic, and I ate it at least once a day while on board. I'll say this a few times in this video, but do not forget, on a cruise ship, you can order as much as you like. And as you'll see in this upcoming clip, I did just that and asked the crew member for one of everything. I did. Also features a variety of barbecue sauces to go with it, including mustard barbecue, traditional sweet, and hot. Moving along, we have Daisy's Pizza Pie, which is okay. It's pizza, nothing to scream about, but not terrible. Only thing to note is that Daisy's Pizza Pie and Goofy's Grill are the only places open late on the pool deck, and that includes Marceline Market, but we'll get into that shortly. Both concepts do not close until around 10 p.m., but you'll want to check your navigator while on board for concrete times. Next, we have my second favorite place, and that's Donald's Cantina, which is our taco concept on board. Donald's Cantina is very good and features a variety of build-your-own burritos, tacos, and bowl options. Proteins include chicken, pork, beef, and veggie, along with a wide variety of toppings to go on your burrito, taco, or bowl. You'll walk down the line just like Chipotle or Moe's and tell the crew member what you would like, and there's no extra charge for guac. After they hand you your food, you'll have a topping bar to the side featuring different salsas and hot sauces. Lastly, it wouldn't be a cruise without soft serve ice cream, and this comes from Captain Minnie herself. The one difference on the Disney Wish opposed to the other Disney cruise ships is that the ice cream is not self-serve. The crew members do have a pretty heavy pour when it comes to the ice cream though, so it's really not that bad, and the ice cream stand is open fairly late. Those are all the options available out on the actual pool. Let's go on to the main buffet option of the pool deck, and that is Marceline Market. Marceline Market is going to be comparative to Cabanas if you've been on any other Disney cruise line. The first thing you're going to notice upon entering, if you've been to Cabanas, which seems to be a complaint from a lot of aspects of things on the Disney Wish, is that Marceline Market feels much smaller than Cabanas does, and we felt the same way upon walking in. The dining room seemed smaller, the pathways for the buffet seemed smaller, and it seemed a lot harder to get a table in the dining room during peak times, specifically on Embarkation Day and always during breakfast. However, with those minor complaints, the food is very, very good, breakfast especially. I mean, what's not to love about unlimited Mickey waffles? They have everything your heart could desire for breakfast, whether it's eggs, bacon, sausage, oatmeal, cereals for the kids, pastries, muffins, fresh fruit, you name it, they have it. When we filmed our walkthrough, it was during breakfast and we were not able to go back for lunch to shoot, but it has everything you could have come to expect if you've been to Cabanas or on a cruise ship lunch buffet. Carving station with roast beef, sandwiches, seafood, potatoes, veggies, variety of world cuisine dishes, soups, salads, etc. All very good, but I do feel the festival food on the deck is better for lunch. Marceline Market also, at least when we were sailing, is the first Disney Cruise Line buffet where crew members serve you most of the items as opposed to you serving yourself. There is glass in between you and the food, and you tell a crew member how many Mickey waffles, etc. you want as opposed to grabbing the whole tray. I'm not sure if this was a COVID move or possibly a way to save on food waste. We didn't find it to be too big of a deal, as there were always plenty of crew members ready to serve you, but it does in fact make the time you stand at the buffet a little longer, as those few seconds of someone asking for a little more of something can add up. One thing to know that is very important, especially for families that might want to skip a night of rotational dining, is that Marceline Market is not open for dinner. Repeat, there is no dinner buffet at all on the Disney Wish. Not even late night on Pirate Night, which was apparently a post-COVID change. The only options on the pool deck after 5:30 p.m. is Goofy's Grill and Daisy's Pizza Pies, and it's open until about 10:30 or 11. The soft serve ice cream stops around that time as well. Keep an eye on your Navigator app for those exact times. While we obviously wanted to see all the new dinner shows and restaurants on the Disney Wish, if you're on a longer cruise and already do the 3 rotational offerings and wanted to just take the kids to the pool for the night and relax, we were disappointed to find out that there was no dinner offering at all at Marceline Market. Let's go back out onto the deck, onto the opposite side of the pool deck, and we have the Hero Zone. The Hero Zone is a multi-purpose room, mainly featuring basketball hoops, foosball tables, ping pong, and honestly just a great air-conditioned space to get out of the sun. When we were on the Disney Dream, the basketball court was outside on the pool deck, and it basically felt like you were inside the volcano of Moana in the summer days. One of the cool things about the Hero Zone is at points during the day, they will clear the main floor and put up a big inflatable obstacle course for families to compete on. That's going to wrap it up on the pool deck. Now let's hop on an elevator for a tour of our stateroom. If you've done some research on YouTube or Reddit, you've probably seen people saying these elevators are the worst. But the main thing with these elevators is to not lean against the buttons. They are not actual buttons, they are LED screens that you actually don't even need to touch for them to activate, as this was a COVID protocol. You will surely at least one time either get on the elevator and every floor will be touched, or someone on your elevator ride will make the mistake of leaning up against the buttons. The Disney Wish features 16 elevators, but one of the biggest complaints of the elevator situation, besides the buttons, is that there are no elevators running along the middle of the ship. They are only at the front and the back of the ship, unlike other Disney cruise lines. Welcome to our deluxe family ocean view stateroom on the Disney Wish. Please pardon our dust in the appearance, as I filmed this literally 10 minutes before we disembarked because I always forget to shoot at the beginning because we were so excited to be on board. The room featured a queen-size bed, a pull-out sofa, and a bed that drops down from the ceiling. Has a window, but strangely does not have the matted pad at the bottom of the window to sit in like the other ships do. Plenty of outlets, including USB-A and USB-C, nice little backlit mirror, lights above the curtain for at night. These new bathrooms aboard the Disney Wish are absolutely gorgeous, and yes, they do feature the Disney Cruise Line exclusive split bathrooms, meaning there's one room with a shower and sink, and another separate one with a toilet and a sink as well. So just because somebody's taking a shower doesn't mean they're necessarily hogging up the bathroom. If I had to give one complaint about them as being 6'4", is that the shower itself is not tall guy friendly. Thankfully, the shower head is detachable so I can make it work, but if you're any taller than 6'4", it could get really tricky. Another cool feature is for while you're sleeping, you don't need to leave the entire bathroom light on, as now they have a very dim light that you can keep on at night that illuminates right underneath the sink in the bathroom. Let's make our way back down the hallway, which, again, as you can see, is not quite tall guy friendly, and make our way to our first rotational dining aboard the Disney Wish, and it's in Arendelle, a frozen dining adventure. If you did not know, Disney Cruise Line does what is called rotational dining, which is rather than you eating dinner in the same dining room every night of your cruise, they rotate you around the ship to 3 different dining rooms, all offering 3 different experiences, cuisines, and atmospheres. It's obviously brilliant for kids, as it keeps them engaged and entertained rather than every night having to be in the same room for dinner. First up on our trip was Arendelle, and all the details, as always with Disney, are top notch. This type of dining is a new concept from Disney because while you are eating, there is a full-blown show happening right in the middle of the dining room. Featuring all your favorite characters from Frozen, Anna, Elsa, Olaf, and even Oaken, who walks around with a fully wireless animatronic Olaf that does tableside visits and is fully interactive and able to answer questions with guests. It's super cool and very much a sight to see. The food in Arendelle is quite good, featuring a scallop pastry, split yellow pea soup, garlic and thyme prime rib, which also floats around the ship in other restaurants under different names. The meatballs with egg noodles were very good as well. Kids menu features all your standards: burgers, tenders, chicken, steak, spaghetti. Disney Cruise Line is very accommodating for your children and can make almost anything happen for you if your kids are picky and want to go outside the menu. For dessert, we got the mint ice cream sundae and the signature dessert, which was a pistachio cookie bar topped with vanilla ice cream. While the food in Arendelle was very good, the show is really the star of the dinner. It's a great way to keep the kids entertained, but it does in fact take some time, as if you plan on watching the entire show, you can plan on being there for upwards of 2 hours. So definitely make sure to get that 5 p.m. dinner time if you have really young kids and still want to catch the show in the Walt Disney Theater at 8. Next, we're headed into the Quantum Realm with Avengers Quantum Encounter. Enter the laboratory of Ant-Man as you are seated at your table with an interactive quantum core that you will be asked to interact with during your meal to help defeat one of the Avengers' most infamous foes. No spoilers, you'll have to see for yourself. Once again, the level of detail here is top notch, down to the Avengers' engraved silverware to the napkins. They left no stone unturned to fully immerse you in this universe. We found this menu to be a bit all over the place, with the bao bun, smoked salmon, udon noodles, pastas, and while it wasn't terrible, it wasn't anything too memorable. Clips from Marvel movies will play in what can somewhat be a sensory overload at times of flashing action sequences all around you. It culminates in a visit in the dining room from Ant-Man and the Wasp. The dinner, again, because it is show-based, does take the better part of up to 90 minutes, so be prepared for that. You also can ask your server to bring everything to you faster, but they do try to plan it accordingly to what is happening in the show. My family and I did agree after seeing it once that if we were to skip one of the 3 rotational dining experiences, it would be Avengers. It's definitely worth seeing at least once though. Rounding out our rotational dining, let's take it to the golden era of Hollywood, and that is at 1923. Sadly, I was not filming much at all when we were eating here, but I can say this, food-wise was my favorite place to eat. No shows this time, just a very classic steakhouse feel surrounded by classic Walt and Roy Disney animation and artwork. Featuring a very steakhouse-centric menu, 1923 was absolutely delicious, and I can't say enough about it. From the mozzarella, ahi tuna, to the only filet mignon that you can get on a Disney cruise ship without paying extra, the 1923 peppered filet mignon, I very much enjoyed this restaurant. 1923 also has the Disney Cruise Line staple of the rosemary rack of lamb, which if you've never had it, is totally worth a try. If there was any restaurant I would suggest you utilize ordering more than one entree, appetizer, and dessert, 1923 is absolutely it. 1923 also has no show type atmosphere, so it's a nice break from the other 2 rotational offerings, especially if you can get it in the middle of 3-day sailing. Depending on the time you eat dinner, you most likely will be catching a show in the Walt Disney Theater. The Walt Disney Theater is where you can catch Disney Cruise Line's award-winning Broadway-level productions, and they do a different one each night of your sailing. At least for us they did, and we were on a 3-night cruise. This 2-level theater is absolutely gorgeous, and on our sailing they performed a show called Disney Sees the Adventure, which features a wide range of your favorite Disney characters, including the main 5. Another night they performed The Little Mermaid, and on our final night it was Aladdin. These shows are a must-do for any cruise sailing, and getting there early is strongly advised, as the seats do fill up rather fast. Not only is there the Walt Disney Theater, but also Disney Wish has 2 full-blown movie theaters on board, the Wonderland Cinema and the Neverland Cinema. Depending on when you sail, you can catch first-run movies that are still in theaters currently or not on Disney Plus just yet, among a mix of classic Disney films, Marvel movies, Star Wars movies, and everything in between. Movies start as early as 10 a.m. and go all the way until about midnight for the latest start time. When we were on our sailing in August of 2022, we were able to catch Thor: Love and Thunder, which had just been released a month earlier in July. These theaters are much smaller than the Buena Vista Theater you can find on other Disney cruise ships. I was under the impression that with 2 different theaters, there would be a wide range of things being shown in each individual cinema, but it was mainly the same movies being run across 2 rooms, which was somewhat of a letdown. Even if you don't plan to watch a movie, the detail alone in each of these cinemas is worth checking out. From the Cheshire Cat and Tinkerbell lights to the wood carvings that surround you in the cinema. Both are open all day and night, so you can pop in whenever you like and take a peek at them. Right outside of the movie theaters is Luna, which is the 2-story stage area that hosts bingo, trivia, and other hilarious game shows throughout the day, such as the late night favorite, Match Your Mate, and is also host to one of my kids' favorite, the Silent DJ Party. There are other rooms around this area that do various game shows, trivia, and things of that nature, but I wasn't able to capture any of them on film. We always make sure to do one night of bingo and pop into the Silent DJ Party, although my kids were a little bummed that they weren't able to dance on stage, and if I had to make a suggestion, I would say they should pass out the headphones on the ground floor, but I understand with that LED screen right there on stage, it's probably just a precaution. Right down the way is going to be where you started your Disney cruise, and that's going to be the absolutely gorgeous Grand Hall. The first thing you're going to notice in the Grand Hall is the massive centerpiece in the top of the ceiling. I suggest going onto the 3rd level of the Grand Hall to get a close look at how big this chandelier really is and the level of detail that it includes, as it is really a sight to see. The Grand Hall is going to be a hub of all sorts of fun activities throughout the day, including meeting your favorite characters, live entertainment, trivia. And one of the coolest things, every night, starting at around 10 p.m. and every hour on the hour, the chandelier does a special light show that always draws a crowd, especially the closer you get to your sailing ending. A couple steps outside the Grand Hall sits the Bayou, which is a quaint New Orleans themed bar that features the only place to get beignets on board. In this video, they were doing a drawing tutorial, and they also feature a small food menu, but the food is not included on your all-inclusive, so you will pay for whatever you order in the Bayou. Directly neighboring the Bayou is the Disney Wish exclusive Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge. We were unable to get a real reservation time for the Hyperspace Lounge as they sold out weeks before we could even get on board, but they do offer open house times during the day that you can go in and walk around the Hyperspace Lounge. The only thing is that there's no bartenders. My honest review of the Hyperspace Lounge is to just take advantage of the open house. While the atmosphere was cool, they were unfortunately dealing with some technical issues with the screens behind the bar, which was fixed later in the day, but all in all, I wouldn't say it was anything just out of this world amazing. The decor was cool, and the door was probably the coolest thing of all. Worth checking out, but no need to be glued to your phone to try to get a reservation. Take yourself up to the 3rd floor of the Grand Hall, and you'll find yourself at the main shop of the Disney Wish, and that is Mickey's Mainsail. Now again, our trip was during the inaugural sailing, so this place was absolutely slammed during all hours of operation. You can only get Disney Cruise Line merchandise on a Disney cruise, so demand for merchandise is always through the roof. Mickey's Mainsail on the Disney Wish is extremely narrow. This is one of the things you can tell they for sure took liberties of making much smaller than, say, Mickey's Mainsail on the Disney Dream. The flow of traffic inside the shop is chaotic to say the least, as is the way the lines form for the cash registers. They've got everything in here from Spirit jerseys, Mickey and Minnie stuffed animals, pins, tumblers, lounge flies, you name it, they have it, and they have an abundance of them. Highly advised if you have your eye on something to try and snag it on day one. By some chance that item does sell out, there's a good chance they have more of them in the back and are waiting for the shop to close to restock for the next day. Mickey's Mainsail is only open when you are at sea, as to avoid having to pay tax on any items. It is usually open from 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. Back on the main floor of the Grand Hall, you'll notice a glass slide that leads you down to the Oceaneer Club, which is the kids club of the Disney Wish. This place is completely decked out and awesome. My kids absolutely love the Oceaneer Club because they are old enough to check themselves in and out. We let them go and leave as they please. It features all the Disney IPs that you would expect, whether it be Star Wars, Pixar, Marvel, etc. All throughout the day, different characters will visit the Oceaneer Club to lead certain activities, whether it be arts and crafts, building your own Iron Man tech, and there's even a place to build your own roller coaster that you can ride. There is a preteen club which features more video game-centric entertainment and one for 15 to 17-year-olds. We briefly toured those, but I didn't film it because it was not during open house hours. On the second floor of the Grand Hall is the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, which if you've ever been to a Disney theme park, you know this is where you can take your daughters to get pampered and dress like one of their favorite Disney characters. Featuring a wide array of different dress options, they choose which dress they want and are fully pampered with their hair and nails done. Also featuring the Disney Cruise exclusive Captain Minnie outfit, which is what my daughter chose, and she could not wait to show the captain herself the outfit that she picked in one of the cutest moments ever. It would not be a Disney cruise without Pirate Night. Pirate Night coincides with the fireworks show that will happen on your cruise. Pirate Night takes place on the main pool deck and features a live music cover band and a show featuring the main Disney characters along with that dastardly Captain Hook who's trying to steal the show for himself. Pre-COVID, Pirate Night would include a late night buffet, but we have been on 2 cruises post-COVID and they sadly do not have the late night buffet anymore, as your only food options on the pool deck are Goofy's Grill and Daisy's Pizza along with the soft serve ice cream. Also on Pirate Night, the chandelier in the Grand Hall has an alternate light show that is different than the one you can catch nightly, so be sure not to miss that. So final thoughts on the Disney Wish. Honestly, we loved it. The new style pool deck was a welcome change, and the food on the pool deck is the best of any ship in the fleet. A few things are certainly challenging, whether it be the seating in Marceline Market, the elevator buttons, or if you're tall, low ceilings can be tricky in certain areas. All the rotational dining is great, but once you've experienced some of them once, you might want to switch gears to a paid dinner like Palo. As with all things Disney, there are plenty of staff that can help you find anything you're looking for, and they keep the ship absolutely immaculate when it comes to cleanliness, which cannot be said for some other cruise lines. So have you been on a Disney cruise? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to watch our video about our day at Castaway Cay for tips and tricks on how to navigate your day on Disney's private island. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.